Sledgehog Gaming.
Sledgehog.
Hey guys, so today we are going to do the challenge. Uh, we are going to do the Hunted Part 1. It is the Grizzly Challenge, and we're going to try to survive this bear. So let's just dive right into it, and hopefully we have a pretty flawless run so that this will be an essential guide so you guys can complete it. So here we go. Let's see, let's be the girl. Let's name her Rita. Rita. Oh, that is terrifying. That is absolutely terrifying. It's okay though. It's pretty terrifying. Alright, so the first thing we're going to do when we get up here is we're going to want to apply the bandage and the antiseptic. And make sure that we apply the antiseptic to the infection risk. Because that can be tricky and you can mess up right off the bat. So we're going to do that real fast. Oh, get up here. Come on. Alright, immediately apply that to there. And then we're also going to apply the bandage to the bear bite so we don't bleed out. Now we're going to immediately go over here and we're going to pick up any wood we see over here. And then we're going to kind of huff it here. We're not going to worry about sticks just yet. And we're going to loot these two containers that are usually over here. So go ahead and loot these real fast. Don't worry about the bear. He will circle back around in a second, but we're not going to worry about him just yet. We're just going to grab all this stuff over here by this house. And then we're going to huff it. Oh, we're already tired. We can't even run. We're going to come back here to this basement area. And that's important because the flare gun is in there, and a lot of people miss that there's even a basement over here, which is a shame. So we're going to go here into this basement. You have got to get into this basement to get this flare gun over here. Go ahead and loot anything that's in here, and if there is clothes, don't worry about it just yet. We'll put them on right before we take a little nap to regain some health. Still looking good here. Alright, got a lot of food. So, this bear is going to chase you throughout this level and appear randomly, it appears. Getting all these clothes. So when we're running from this bear place to place, and we're going to do a pretty set path. Did I already loot that? Yeah. He will appear randomly, and that can be very bad. Right now I'm not worrying about slot bonuses because we are crunched for time to get to our next spot. We are going to immediately just take a nap right here on the floor. So we're going to open this and set out our pack, our bedroll, and we're going to sleep for 5 hours. That should give us 3 hours of time to get where we need to go of daylight, which is fine. Should be perfectly fine. Alright, so we're going to come out of here. And we're going to make sure that we go to the left here of this house, because if you go to the right, sometimes there is a wolf, and you do not want to run into that wolf. While we're walking here, we're going to go ahead and pick up any sticks that we see, because those are going to become invaluable to us later on. So we're just going to continue on down the side of this cliff here. And be very careful not to run here so you don't get a sprained ankle or sprained arm. That can happen, and it is not very good. Alright, so we're just we're heading to that rock over there where there is a rope that we're going to descend down. And that rope is going to lead us to another rock with a rope. And then we should be able to get to a cabin from there. So just descending down now. Descending down. And then see this other rock over here? We could grab those sticks, but however, I just want to make sure we get on this rope before we get too tired to grab it. So we're just going to grab it and get on down here. And hopefully your weather's cooperating with you. It's actually slightly windy for us, which is not a good thing. But that's fine. We should be perfectly fine. Alright, so once you get down from this second rope, we're going to head to the right a little bit and kind of walk through these trees, and we'll run smack dab into this cabin, and we're going to pick up any sticks that we can find. As you can see, the cabin's right there, and I'm just grabbing some sticks while I walk there, because we will need them later. And the bear could appear at any moment going forward. Something that I didn't do that you should probably do right now is pull out your flare and then hit R to reload it. It should be loaded and ready to go in case the bear appears. And let's talk about that for a minute while we loot this. You'll want to loot this cabin as quickly as possible and move on. Don't even equip any clothes you see. The bear. If the bear appears, you're going to want to kind of wait until he charges you a little bit and fire this flare gun at him. But you don't want it to be point blank range, but you want it to be pretty close that you know you're going to hit him. You're going to want to come immediately out of this cabin, and you're going to walk out that door straight ahead. And we're going to start doing what I call sprint and walk, which is we're going to do a 50% sprint, and then we're going to walk until our sprint recovers again, and then we're going to sprint again. And we're doing this so that we can move as quickly as possible to the next house.
So cold.
By now you should probably be getting hypothermia. You should also probably be pretty darn tired, but it's okay, we just need to make it to the next spot. And so I'm sprinting back down to 50% again, and we're going to be looking on the right for this giant white snow bank here. So once we find that, we're going to follow this area around here, and there should be a nice path here. It's kind of hidden to walk up. And there we are. And then we're going to follow this to the bridge. Now sometimes Smokey, as I like to call the bear, appears in this area generally, and I'll hear him before he charges me, but he will usually appear behind me. But we're just going to keep trucking forward unless we hear him. So we're heading under this bridge here. And once we get under this bridge, we're going to look for a kind of ramp, a nature-made ramp up to the right to get off this ice. We're going to continue to keep sprinting here, back down to about 50%. And the reason why we're keeping it at 50% is so if we have to flee from Smokey after shooting him, we still have 50% in reserves. Here is that nature-made ramp I was talking about. Now, another word of caution here, as we're coming up here, There is sometimes wolves over here to the right. You just want to keep kind of heading left up this ramp so that we can get to the next cabin. But you do not want to go into those trees because there is sometimes wolves over there. We want to avoid that at all costs. And just keep sprinting here and keep on trucking. We're going to go immediately into the basement first and loot anything we find down there and then go into the main house. So here is the basement. And so we're going to go down into the basement real fast. It's going to be slightly dark because it is getting dark outside. But we're just going to grab anything we can find here. Newsprint, anything at all that is good. Too bad we didn't have a crowbar, because we could definitely pry open that locker. I see you, matches. Alright, and there's a washer machine over here. I think I missed, yeah, it's up there. Come up here to this washing machine. Check it for clothes, hopefully. Yes, that's what I'm talking about. At this point you can holster by pressing H that flare gun, because we're not going to need it at the moment. Search this workbench here. Some cured leather. Okay. Some more food.
Okay.
Some simple tools there, quality tools. We could spend some time breaking down those crates, but it's not going to be necessary. Not for what we're doing. So we're going to come back out here. We're going to go into the main house. Now I would suggest going on this back side because there's sometimes stuff in here. In this case some cloth and a news roll. And then go through this door.
God, never felt so cold.
Alright, and we're just gonna loot everything we can in this place. Specifically, looking for food. We're just gonna quickly do this as quick as possible. As quick as possible. And by now you should be pretty darn tired too. That's okay, because we're about to get some sleep. We're okay. I've got this. I'll lead you through this. Sewing kit. Nice. Don't forget to bend down and kind of look around the floor areas, because sometimes things can hide in there. Also, don't forget to search the toilet.
This stuff will come in handy.
Because the toilet has drinkable water. And that is super helpful because we don't have to start a fire for the water. Oh wow, that is a lucky find. The wool ear flaps. That's an accessory. Those are hard to come by. Very hard to come by. Again, we're just looting as fast as we can before it gets dark. Doing good, doing good.
This will come in handy.
Alright. More clothes. Magnifying lens. I'm not grabbing that book or that book because we don't need that many books. Books are heavy. They slow you down. We need to be pretty agile in case rifle cleaning kit, that there's no rifle except at the very end. That doesn't really do us any good. We'll probably drop that. Alright, upstairs here. Just quickly go through these rooms. And we're gonna put the clothes on after we wake up. We're gonna be fine though. Your health is probably getting really low at this point. Don't freak out. Just keep on trucking. Because you're gonna heal up in a minute. Oh, I think I missed that earlier. Nothing in there anyway. Again with the toilet, we're just gonna take it all. Should have about a gallon of water now, which is super helpful. I mean, I don't judge if you drink toilet water. I hope you're not judging either. And we're grabbing
I'll take it.
anything we can find here. Anything we can find here. And I think we are almost done searching here. And we can go to sleep, and our character will be so happy that we are going to sleep.
This will come in handy.
Yes, it will. You're also probably going to be pretty thirsty and hungry right now. And we're going to drink and eat right before we go to sleep. You obviously want to avoid, unless you have a can opener, opening cans, because you'll have to smash them open. And smashing them open, you will lose some of its calories, which will make it less valuable to you. And so happy we found a flare, because we will definitely need that later. Alright, so we're gonna sleep, but before we sleep, let's go ahead and eat something. Just get our health back up and drink. Get our water back up. Let's see, we are going to sleep for quite a while here. We're gonna sleep for 9 hours. We're aiming to hit right at sunrise. Looks like I did not sleep long enough. 2 more hours. So 11 hours of sleep. Your health bar should be going up, which is good. Ooh, we cut that water close. And if you've made it this far, congratulations. You are probably going to survive. Just as a quick heads up here. And that's close enough. While we're standing in the dark here, let's go ahead and actually, if it'll let us sleep for another hour. So we slept for, I think, a total of 12 hours there. That's okay. While you're in the cabins, you could stay in it as perceivably as long as you want. So the sun's just starting to come up, but we're going to pass the time for another hour here. So that sun is almost up, and then we're going to equip some clothes real fast. And you're just going to kind of pick the best clothes that you have. And anything that says 0, just go ahead and harvest that. Because we will repair with those. Any extra stuff, just go ahead and harvest it as well. I can't believe we found earmuffs. That's a first for me. Go ahead and harvest that too. Yeah, congratulations if you made it this far, because you are probably going to survive now. With a little help from me. Wow, we found a lot of socks, guys. It's kind of ridiculous. But we can harvest it. So all good. All good. Let's see here. I'm wearing those.
Man, all I can think about is food.
I know you're getting hungry. We'll give you something to eat here in a second. Hunger is the least threatening thing to ignore. It will barely hurt you. So don't freak out too much if you get hungry, because we want to conserve that. Alright, and then any materials that you have. We don't want to spend time like shredding curtains and stuff, but any materials that you have, we're going to go ahead and repair our weakest items. To help them provide more.
Something to eat.
And we're running out of water and food. Go ahead and eat another. We'll wait on food. No, we'll eat. Let's go ahead and eat what we can. Alright. Back to our clothing here. So that's now 69. Let's go ahead and repair it once more. Alright, that looks much better. Wish we found some gloves. Beggars can't be choosers.
God, I've never been so hungry in my life.
Oh, it sounds windy. That's bad for us. Build. Build. I was wondering where you were, my friend of failure. Thought I was passing these a little too easy. Oh my word. Alright, well we don't have any more materials, so forget that.
Find something to eat.
This. How much water do we have left after that? Oh, about a half a gallon. We're doing good. I'm not gonna worry about water too much. Alright, so now you've got all of that taken care of. You're gonna go here by this fridge. And oh, I never searched the fridge. Yeah, let's go ahead and search that. More water, awesome. And while we're here, just go ahead and drop anything you don't need. Specifically, any clothes you're not wearing or materials you're carrying that you don't think you're going to use. Like, we're not going to use a second one of these. I could shred this and repair some more, but I think we're good. So I'm going to drop one of the bed rolls that I picked up. I'm going to drop one of those. Rifling kit we don't need. Just basically drop anything that you don't think you're going to use. do you have in excess of? See, I have so many matches. I don't think I'm going to use as many, so we're going to just drop, drop a box here. And I think that should be good. That should do it. Yeah, okay. So now, you're going to want to go to this fridge in the cabin, and you're going to go to this door right here. And that's where you're going to want to exit out of. And then you're going to want to follow this straight ahead. And of course, there is a freaking blizzard when I'm trying to do this, but it's all good. We're just going to keep going straight. I know my way. Hopefully it will not be blizzarding for you. And we're going to go ahead and do that sprint thing I was talking about again, where you sprint for 50. And then stop. You want to also make sure that you have your flare gun ready in case you meet something you do not want to meet. Keep that bad boy handy. And just keep trucking through here. And pick up any sticks that you might see on the ground as we're going. Now, once we hit this road here, you'll see this car here. You're going to want to sprint past the car, or walk past the car, whichever you prefer. You could search it, but only search it really if you're really short on food or water. You really shouldn't have to search it though. You're going to go past it and around here, around this cliff bank here, and we're going to descend down into the river again. So here we go, and we're going to take a right on this riverbank. Do this part slowly so that you do not sprain your wrist or your ankle. So we're going to come here on the right, and we're going to kind of jog a little bit. And we're going to be running down this river here. We're going to be looking for a waterfall. Oh jeez, I wish it wasn't so blizzardy right now. That's really bad for us. Makes the visibility very poor. We're just going to keep, here's the waterfall, and we're going to go up here and around the waterfall to the right here. Sometimes the bear shows up right here, I've noticed. So if he does, you know, we've got our flare gun out. We're just going to pop him in the face. You can also scare him with fire by building a campfire or something like that. But we're just going to continue up here and around this mountain. And just keep going up and around it. And you should have the river on your left. But even though that river is on your left... Okay, we're doing good. The music just started though, which is kind of creeping me out. You're going to keep this river over here on your left and just keep trucking through this way. And just keep running through here. And I feel like the bear is going to be coming at me or something. Just keep running up here. The river should be down over here. We're just continuing on here until we get to the road. I'm really curious why this music just got creepy. Here in a second we should run into the road. Or these branches right here. This is the road. But these branches here were what we were looking for. Gonna run through them. Man, I am getting really lucky that I have not seen the bear yet. Not so lucky with this blizzard here. It's hard for me to show you guys exactly where we're going, but we went through the arches, and up here is a cave. And so we are going to sprint up here to this cave. Doing good. Go up here to this cave. So you're going to take a left up here at this little break of wind. Of snow. In between the tree and the big boulder. Come over here and follow this cliff face. You should be at a cave. Now there is also a body sometimes over here. Check for it real fast. See if it has anything for us. Does not. Alright, now you're going to want to build a fire, if you can, right here. Let's see if we can. Yeah, you can. So we're going to build a fire. Did it just glitch on me? There it goes. Right here. And because we're out of the wind, this is actually a really good spot for it. We're going to use wood matches and our accelerant. If you don't have that, just make do with what you have. Because you're going to want to grab some torches from this, as well as it's going to warm you up. And keep the bear away, in case he was to show up right here. We're just going to add some fuel to it. Get it for about 2 hours. And we're going to chill right here next to it, warm up a little bit, and try to take some torches from it. Actually, we're going to eat too. This is a good stopping point to eat. So we're going to cook some food here. I have no choice but to bust open a can. Let's smash it open, and at least this one's at 86%. We're going to still have some nutrition left after we're done. Alright. And we're going to go ahead and back out for a second, eat that. There it is. Good little sustenance back into us. And how's our water? You're going to want at this point about 0.5. We're doing really good because we've got a ton of soft drinks, plus we have well over a half a gallon. But if you don't have at least a half a gallon right now, would be a good time to boil some up. And then you're going to want to add some more fuel if need be, and take a couple torches. And you're looking for some torches that are at least 35-40%. Like that's a good one. Oh, I went into the cave. Silly me. Let's go back out of the cave for a minute. Hopefully our fire hasn't blown out. There's our fire. And put that torch away. And we're going to take another torch. And we're going to look away from the cave. We're just going to keep taking until we get 3 decent torches. If we have to, we'll add back to the fire, because each time you take a torch, it takes away from the fire duration. But we should be able to get some decent torches. We are doing excellent here. I'm really happy with this. And then you're going to want to go ahead and get ready to sleep for an hour or two. Go ahead and take one more torch if you have time, simply for wolves. Or if you have excess fire that you're just trying to kill. And then I'm not worrying about it anymore. We're going into the cave. Alright, so it's going to be dark in here. We're obviously going to need a torch. But what I suggest doing before you even do the torch is go ahead and get a little bit of sleep. 2 hours should be fine. You should be warm enough in this cave to sleep. Let's do actually 3 hours. So 3 hours of sleep. If you had hyperthermia, it should heal it like it did. Don't forget to eat or drink before you sleep so you don't hurt yourself. I'm gonna pop open a Coke at this point to, or pop or whatever you want to call it. Pick up our bedroll, and then we are going to light a torch so we can see where we're going. Now there's a couple places you probably will want to hit up here in the cave. They're not really a necessity. I'm just gonna take us by. You can explore the whole cave because again the bear won't show up in the cave. But I'm going to take us by just a couple of important spots that I hit up every time I do this run. And that is going to be over these wood planks. Oh my gosh. You do not want to do that. You want to walk over the planks and down. That was really, really dumb of me. But let me show you like we were doing it the correct way. Wow, I can't believe that happened. We luckily didn't hurt ourselves. Not sure. We got really lucky there. So you don't want to fall through the plank like I just did. Walk on the plank. And when you walk on the plank, you can kind of shine your light in here. Once you get across, see if there's anything there. If there's not, continue on. Remember, don't fall down the plank. I can't believe I did that. That's embarrassing. Anyway, moving on. Once you get down this little slope here, you're going to come to your left. And over here there should be some wood. And usually a body or some stuff you can grab and search through. Don't worry about the pack if it's there. Sleeping bag, it's not necessary. Go ahead and grab that wood though. Again, we may not even need it. And then from there you're going to want to walk through here. And continue here. Just keep walking forward. Look for flares on the ground too, because those are super useful. But if there is nothing, that is okay. Just keep walking through these caves. Once you get to this spot, you're going to go this way to go out. But I would suggest coming back here first and checking to see if there's anything worth grabbing, like a flare. That flare is going to be super useful as we get across the dam here in a little bit. Anyway, we're going to come back this way. You can see the light out over here. We've also got a deer carcass here. How's our temperature here? It's pretty good. I'm gonna light another torch for a minute. Just make sure I don't miss anything on the ground that could possibly be laying there. And then I'm gonna actually, before we leave, I'm gonna grab a little bit of sleep here. So we're gonna put the bed here. Make sure that our food and health is good. Again, try not to open a can of anything unless you have a knife or a can opener. And as you can see, it's pretty much middle of the night, so it is the perfect time to catch some Z's. We're gonna sleep for like 8 hours, so no, that's fine. So for about 8 hours. This should also top off your health. You should be really close to full now at this point. Oh, I'm thirsty. Drink some water. Pick up my bedroll. You can see, if you look around, you'll see that in case it's not bright in the cave, where the exit is, because it should be illuminated. Even at night it is. Alright, and then you want to come down here. Sometimes I get confused here. However, I'm pretty sure we're going to eat real fast. I'm pretty sure it's to the left here is the way you want to go. I always forget if it's left or right. We'll see here in a second if I am right. Please tell me I am right. I'm wrong. Okay, so when you come down that cliff, do not do what I did, and go to the right. And as you come to the right, you're going to be looking on your left. That's right. That's the way it is. To, oh, pull out your flare gun too, just in case. You're going to be looking for a bank that you can go up. Which is right here. It's the bank. So you're going to go up this bank here. There is cattails, by the way, that you could pick up there if need be. However, I'm doing really well on food and drink, so I'm not worrying about it. But you can pick up cattails along that riverbank as you're walking. It's no biggie. Now, if you followed me up to this point, you should be roughly around the same values with about the same amount of resources. Some people at this point go and go up here where that tree branch is and rest in a cave over there. I skip it. There's no reason. Not for what we're doing. We can make it without doing that. So we're just going to continue on here. There is sometimes a wolf up here.
Feel my hands.
And as you can see, he is over there in the distance. We're just going to try to sneak by him here, because on this left side there should be a spot to go up. And we're going to kind of hustle a little bit, doing the 50% run at this point. I didn't want to run by where that wolf was because he might hear me. That would be very bad. Let's continue on here. Yeah, we saw you, wolf, but you didn't see us. And we're going to continue on here. Say hi to the dead deer. We're going to come down here and slowly come down so we don't hurt ourselves. And at this point, we're going to continue on upwards on your left side here and just continue on up. Now this can be a little tricky. I sometimes see it won't let me on here. If you come to this edge though, and back and forth, it will let you on. And you can move on. As you can see, we're approaching the dam. I'm gonna huff it a little bit. Same with that one, sometimes it's a little tricky to get around. Now comes one of the probably most terrifying things. You have to be super careful. You do not want to fall like I did on the bridge earlier. You want to come over here to this area right here, and you're going to want to come on this ledge here and kind of gently push up against these pillars, or whatever you want to call them, and not fall off this, because it is a long fall. I do not think you will survive. We'll just put it that way. And just carefully go across here. Again, hugging that pillar as they come up. And make sure you run smack into that wall, and then turn and come over. And you'll see this fence here that's broken. You're going to come up here. You can search for loot if you need to over there. I don't. I do search this backpack. If you need more wood, it's right there. We're actually doing really awesome on wood. And then you're going to mouse up to that window right there and leave. Now, sometimes the wolf can spawn right here. Her name is Fluffy. She is not nice. You should not need any materials. You should just carry on throughout this. You should not loot anything, just unless you're desperate for materials. I'm still shocked we haven't seen the bear yet. Hey, a scarf. I will take the scarf though, just to add some more warmth to me. We're doing excellent here. We're gonna go ahead and eat real fast, just to keep food levels up. And I'd say right now we are about 60, maybe 70% of the way there. Besides Fluffy, there is only one other really tricky part. We have not seen Fluffy yet, and let me... Fluffy is the wolf that stalks this area. I usually, and I did not because I haven't heard her, but usually just to be safe, I'll light a torch and carry it through this area, which should keep her at bay and away from you. Throwing it if you have to at her to scare her. But we're just going to continue on here. Oh, I thought that was Fluffy for a second. We'll search him because I'm feeling lucky. What do you know? Wow. Sometimes you just feel it. Through here, since we did not see Fluffy there, she is more than likely going to be right here. But we will see in a second. She is in fact here. She is not. Wow, no bear, no Fluffy. I passed the door we go in. We're going to go in this door here, along that wall, opposite where you come out. I cannot believe that we have not seen the bear once, and we have not seen Fluffy once. This has been a very fortunate run for us. Hopefully you guys are just as fortunate. Again, we're not going to worry about looting anything here. We're just going to continue on. Sweet, our hypothermia got healed. You want to check now and see about what time is daylight, how much daylight you have left. We have plenty left, so we're just going to pick up. We have plenty of sleep. We're just going to carry on. So we're going to carry on here, out here. Sometimes there is also a wolf out here. If not though, we're doing good. We're just going to walk pretty much straight out of that door to this railroad here. At this point you probably want to pick up your flare gun instead of a torch, and that's because you're going to want to use it on a wolf or a bear. If a bear runs into, there is the bear. He is coming for us. I'm going to try to lose him before I have to use my flare gun to fire at him. He found us quick when we came out of there. Wow. Oh, hey buddy. Alright, we're going to go ahead and let him charge us a little bit. Scare him off. Reload. And sprint. And that is how you keep him away from you. I could have probably shot him, waited till he got a little closer and ran backwards, but I was not feeling particularly gutsy at this point. I don't see the bear at the moment. I hear him though, I swear. Okay, maybe it's just my imagination. Weird. Alright, continue to follow the railroad tracks here. And just keep going. I had to talk about my luck, and then look who decided to show up. We're going to follow these railroad tracks till they dead end. Sometimes they can be a little covered by snow, but we're not going to worry about that. Because we know that it moves straight for the most part. And again, we're going to be continuing to sprint at 50 or sprint to 50 and then let it recharge, sprint to 50 and let it recharge. Up here sometimes there is a wolf, yep. And so you may have to use a flare here on this wolf or your flare gun. I'm going to go ahead and pull out a flare because I have one. And we're going to light it and then just kind of sprint past it. Say, screw you, wolf. Yeah, he won't come close to you as long as you have that flare lit. And we're just going to try to get away from him. Oh, I see another flare. I don't normally stop here, but we could use that flare. So we're going to go ahead and use that flare. Keep sprinting to get away from him. And he'll eventually give up chase. You can try to scare him off. Like that. Or by throwing the flare at him. That sometimes works, and in this case did. And then you're free to just wander without him chasing you. Which is nice. We're just going to continue to keep following this railroad tracks. I just realized that I have frostbite. That normally doesn't happen because I normally have more clothes. So it is your option to make a fire at any point to heal up a little bit, which I am probably going to not do and just risk it. But you can do that. You could even run to this cabin over here. You know what? Let's go ahead and do that. We'll run to this cabin here. You'll know you're close to the cabin when you pass those cars on the railroad tracks that are turned over. It will be on your left-hand side. And you're basically just going to run to this cabin here and just catch a quick sleep or make a quick fire. In my case, I'm going to catch like an hour of sleep, maybe 2, depending on daylight. So we're going to go in this cabin here and go straight up to the bed. We don't want to waste any time searching for anything unless we need something. Get rid of that flare. Yeah, we've got plenty of daylight left, so we're going to sleep for 2 hours, which should bring us a ton of warmth back and also heal our hypothermia, making this next part of the journey much easier. How much daylight do we have left? We have plenty. Plenty. Go ahead and get your flare gun out before you go outside again. Make sure that it is reloaded and you are ready to go. I would go out this back door because it points exactly where we got to go, and because Smokey might be waiting for us. Let's hope not. But he could very well be waiting for us. When you come back to the train tracks, you're going to continue to keep following it here to the left to the end. Where it dead ends to this mountain. You can see the mountain pass, whatever you want to call it, in the distance here, which means things are looking good. That's what that means. Now there's probably a quicker way to getting to Trapper's cabin through this area, but I don't want to confuse you guys, and I want to make sure that it's as easy to understand as possible. So we're just going to continue to this mountain, and then we're going to follow it over, and at a certain point we're going to break from it. I'll show you where, which should dead end us right into it. At this point you are so close to the Trapper's cabin that you shouldn't have to worry too much about picking anything up, sticks, anything like that. Searching corpses, you shouldn't have to worry about any of that, because we are literally minutes away from Trapper's Canyon. You can go ahead and still be doing the 50% sprint. I've been talking and not thinking about it, but you can do the sprint to 50% stop now at this point if you want. So we're going to continue to follow this this mountain here. Keep it to our left here as we walk through these trees. Just continue to follow it. Continue to follow it. Make sure the bear is not around. Continue to follow the mountain. You see this big hill here. Go past this big hill on your right. You should also see another corpse. And fun fact, if you walk exactly across the mountain from that corpse, you'll run into another corpse. But we're not going to do that at this moment. We're just going to continue to follow this mountain. Continue to follow this mountain. And you notice that it jetted out right there. It's going to taper off here in a second. And you'll come to this little hill. When you come to this little hill, you can see it right there. That's the shed of where we're headed. So from that little hill, you can look down and you can see the shed. If visibility is bad, look for those trees right there coming down the mountain, and you should be good. And there is Trapper's cabin. That is all we have to do is make it there. I've had the bear up here, right here, almost as like a no, you're not going to make it. But let's hope that doesn't happen right now as we run across here, expending all of our stamina just to finish up, get the best time we can. And if you made it here, congratulations, you have finished the first challenge. It'll take a second, and then it'll take you into a cutscene. What? To be continued? I'm so shocked. The Hunted Part 1. And that is it. We made it in 2 days, 5 hours. I think that's a pretty good time. I think I could do better, but we got really lucky this run. And so, yeah, that is The Hunted Part 1, A Long Dark. I hope you enjoyed the video, and I hope this helps you to succeed at doing this challenge. It can be quite daunting, so I did this in my best record time, but I really think I could have improved upon that if I pushed myself a little bit. But since I was making the guide, I didn't want to push myself. But I want to thank you guys for watching the video, and if this helped you at all, or if you want to see future content like this, please like and subscribe below. Also, I have a Twitch account. If you want to subscribe and follow that as well, that would be awesome. It is twitch.tv/SledgeHogGaming, and I'll also have a link to that below. And thank you guys so much for watching the Hunted Part 1 challenge. Stay tuned for the Hunted Part 2 challenge, which I will post a little bit later. You guys have a blessed night. Thanks.